Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Unholy Horde playthrough on the channel. And in the last episode, well, we mostly just managed our city here, and one thing we did manage to at least get was some nice books. We managed to get Caden training, which will increase the effectiveness of all training in the training field by 50%. This will be absolutely massive for us. And we also got Faith Defense. We aren't able to study this yet, because I don't think anybody knows. Wait, hold on. Actually, Harold and Lana both know Tanae already, so actually we can learn that. And if we get that, then that will reduce our taxes, and that will be substantial just in general. But it could actually mean that we can hire some better mercenaries and not have to worry so much about the taxes that we will pay on them. And we should not actually lose the ability to trade with the trader, even if we have a solid army of just mercenaries. So that is going to be massive. And in fact, if we get axe proficiency as well to add on to all of this, and maybe even mace stun, then our army is going to be absolutely insane. Even considering that we are one of the weakest uh, cities in the area, as you can see. I think that having all of these books will make us absolutely a powerhouse in the region. So we will probably start to force some neutrality and create some vassals for ourselves. Now, oddly enough, I have not seen anything go on with the Unholy Horde. I don't know if it's just gone. I thought they were supposed to go at least until like day 60 or something like that. But it doesn't seem like they've done anything recently, so we'll just have to see on that. But Canute is on his way. We're actually in London right now, so hopefully this hunt finally goes well. That'd be quite nice to see happen. Now, another thing I think I am going to do, I've looked, and as you can see, herbs usually sell for 6, and we can get 14 for medical salves. And there actually is a trade route right now for medical salves. Whereas, whereas for our flavorful ale, of course, it's only 0.5. So when you add on the hops, it's only really like 5 gold or something in resources to create a flavorful ale. So the price isn't a whole lot different, but the thing that we can get out of this is if we switch over to medical salves, it will free up all of our hops and we can just purely use the hops then to create beer. And if we do that, then we'll have, of course, beer for everybody so that we won't have the fatigue issue anymore. But we will still have an export of some kind. So I think we are probably going to switch over to making more medical salves. So we'll actually set this to do until, and we'll just set it until 50, I suppose. And we may still make a little bit of flavorful ale, so we'll do something like, I don't know, 10 maybe? Yeah, just a little bit. Because it is nice to have just for your lords to be able to drink a little bit. And of course, if trade route does pop up, I want to have a little bit of stock. So maybe even a little bit more, maybe like 20. Just so that we have a little bit of stock. And that way, if a trade route does pop up, then we can actually make use of that. But otherwise, I would like to get a trade route going for an export. And it looks like flavorful ale is our best hope. I'm just wondering if this trade route will last long enough because I do want to take Canterbury first. That's probably going to be the goal. Uh, but maybe it could be Norwich first, and then we go with London or something, or go up into the north, maybe even. So we'll just have to see about that. Alright, and Canute did finish this hunt, and it appears that it basically did nothing. So the only other thing I could think is to do a marriage proposal because we will give them 760 gold, which we don't have enough for right now. But we could do that, and then that would increase our relationship by 25. So that could be something, and it would get a wife for Harold. Um, so I don't know. That may be the thing that we do. Although if I did it, it may be better to do that with Canterbury. I don't know. We'll have to see. We could also potentially start buying hops from them as well. Okay, and unfortunately our trade agreement with Norwich did fall through now, so we need to recreate it. Hopefully it does not immediately get disabled. Hopefully this doesn't all refresh. And it looks like Canterbury's did. As soon as I wanted to make the medical sounds, now they are buying nectar. They're little nectar addicts over there. We may have to conquer them and make some changes. Now, on the other hand, it does look like we got our mill rebuilt, which is great. We'll go ahead and start upgrading it immediately and make sure, yep, we are creating flour. Let's go ahead and get going on that, people. We're going to set it to priority as well. Okay, so we have started another trade route over here with Norwich, and they are basically giving us the same deal as we were getting previously for our rye. Now, I was just looking for some bandit camps as well, and there are two, but as you can see, they're both rather weak. Regardless, we are going to go ahead and send Canute to take care of this. We'll send not very much of our army, though. We only really need to send... We'll send 5? Nah, we'll go with 7. Yeah, 7 seems good. Just in case. And we'll send mostly axes. We don't actually really care too much yet about prisoners, but it would be nice to start getting prisoners from these bandit camps, just because we can, once we get the what is it, fresh start, once we get that, we can actually turn every single bandit, just turn them straight into a warrior of ours. Okay, now I was just looking at our resources, and as you can see, we are getting quite the way through this mine, and additionally our forests are being cut down at an extreme rate. If we do this too much, then the soil fertility will keep dropping. It doesn't seem that this actually affects rutabagas, though. I have been keeping an eye on it. It doesn't seem to make any difference. Or at least it doesn't actually show. But it is possible that that is why our rutabaga numbers have dwindled. So I may want to try and get rid of one of our lumber mills. But I don't know. I'm not really sure if I want to do that, because we need the lumber so that we can keep building these walls, and also for every other building that we need. So it is kind of a decision I'm going to have to mull over for a little bit, but, I mean, if you look at these, they're not producing very much at all. 2 rutabaga on this one, so that could be what is going on. Maybe it just doesn't update the fertility thing here. I'm not actually sure. I haven't done too much deforestation to really notice, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and hire a couple more mercenaries. We'll hire these 2. Now, between everything, we should have, what, like 15 soldiers or something like that? Okay, so we have this battle, and of course it's not going to be anything difficult. It looks like they... okay, I thought they increased their numbers slightly, but it does not appear that that happened. We'll just rush on in. Canute can go ahead and lead the charge. Go right on in, Canute. And, of course, we win. We did actually still manage to capture one, so maybe we really don't need to worry about using maces against them too much anymore. When you have the mace stun book, for sure, you daze enemies a lot more often. We probably would have gone both of them that time, but it doesn't seem like it's too big of a deal if you just use a regular spear versus a regular mace. Okay, and now here's the next battle. And we're just, again, going to rush right on in. No strategy whatsoever. Just take them out. Get on in there, Canute. Oh, and they lost again. I'm shocked. Alright. We didn't capture any of them that time, but we did at least get the loot. Now, one thing I was thinking about, we could start raiding some villages. Now, I don't know, when you hover over all of this, right? Raid village, relationship with them will worsen, which is the person owning the territory. Will it tick off York? I know it's going to make the matriarch mad, but maybe that's okay now. Maybe we just wait until we get the armor forge and we just build our own armor, and then otherwise the only reason to do it would be to get herbs. But as you can see, we can actually just get herbs by raiding Hearthglen. I'm thinking about doing that. There's 5 defenders. We should be able to handle that rather easily with the army we have. I almost want to test it out just to see. I mean, it's going to make them mad. It may invoke Canterbury and York's wrath and everything, and that wouldn't be particularly good. But I don't know. I like the idea. We could get a whole lot of resources just by doing this. We could get some rye by attacking Hollow as well, which is York, and they already have one of their villages burnt. So, I don't know. Seems like it could be a good idea. I'm gonna have to think about it for a second. Alright, so it does look like Norwich is gonna be upset with us. So it definitely affects all of the neighbors as well. So they have a +5 with us now. Yeah, London really hates us now. Canterbury kind of hates us. York is barely friends with us anymore. And Lincoln also hates us. So I think if we were to attack York now, they would hate us enough that they may actually decide to attack us at full force, which would be kind of scary because this is a pretty big kingdom. If they attacked us all at once, if they actually did a group attack, that would be pretty bad. So I'm going to skip over them, but we are going to go ahead and attack Hearthglen and see how that goes, because that is a 75% chance of win. That'll get us some extra herbs, which will be quite nice. We can use that to create more medical cells, and we can go ahead and sell those. So I'm going to try it. We're going to try it. Okay, so here it is. We're at Hearthglen. We're going to attack them, and we're going to see if this changes our relationship at all. Weaker than me, supported my enemy in a conflict, failed to repay a debt to the neighbor. So it looks like maybe it could affect our mood with them. We'll just have to see. So let's go ahead, and we'll just rush on in. We may have Canute protect himself, though. They only have daggers. Okay, never mind. They only have daggers. That's right, I forgot. Villagers only actually have daggers, so I don't think they can possibly do anything. Why did an axe fall to the floor? The village has been plundered and burned down. Okay, they weren't happy with that, of course. But it doesn't look like anybody else really cares. Matriarch doesn't even care. Huh. How interesting. Okay, well, then I don't see a reason not to raid this one as well. Maybe it'll deteriorate relation later, but if so, then this actually kind of reminds me of raiding villages in Crusader Kings, because it's just like, I mean, you can just do it, and it's like somehow not as detrimental to your relations with everybody as, say, like actually, trying to conquer them. So it's kind of funny to me. You would think that having your village raided would really, really irritate you, because economically it's going to mess with you, but it doesn't appear that it really angers anyone else, like their liege or anything like that. So we're just going to keep doing it. I don't see any reason not to. We even may just go ahead and, well, I don't really want to attack York, though, because, of course, York does have a pretty strong army as well, and if we have everybody hating us completely, then they may go ahead and attack us at home, so we're going to want to be careful now. I mean, everybody kind of hates us now. Now, Norwich I would like to keep a good relationship with, so that we don't lose this trade route, because we do need the rye. It would actually be nice to repair our relation a little bit with Canterbury, just since they are so close. If we go anywhere, then Canterbury could, there's sudden attacks now, so they could actually suddenly attack us while we're away from home. So I don't think I want to attack them. London may not be a bad choice, though, but they don't really, I don't really need the rye. Well, I mean, that could be another way to get rye, too, is to just attack these villages instead. I don't know, we'll have to see. We could become a raiding kingdom. Okay, so now we do have the scaffolding. I need to find a spot for it, but we're going to go ahead and place this, and we're going to give it a shot just to see. There doesn't seem to really be a good spot for it that's actually in the village, so I guess we'll just have to put it down over here. And once that gets built, we'll go ahead and see if we can't get rid of some of these macaw, so that we can get the foreigners are pushing us out modifier away. Now, what actually causes it exactly? Is it half, or? Members of the province's original culture have become less than half of the total population. So yeah, we'd want to push out at least enough macaw, so that hopefully more cadence will actually show up. But that's going to be difficult, because the only thing that I think causes them to show up is basically war. As far as I understand, once you get to a certain point, it's mainly the effects of war causes more migration to your city, so we'll have to see. But this Terrell guy, man, I almost want him, but he's already leaving. But he has a 10 combat. That would have actually been quite nice. Uh-oh, looks like Canute got rutabaga fever again. He survived the last bout with it. Now he is getting medical salve. Will that heal him? I thought it didn't. Oh, okay, I guess it does. Alright, well, he's healed now, and we have some forest bandits. And there's 6 of them. Okay. They're selling prisoners. I'm assuming, yeah, that'll deteriorate our relationship with people further. I would like not to actually do that. Just doesn't seem like a good idea right now. We'll bring most of our army, not all of it, but most of it, and we will go with some swords, some axes. There we go. 67%. That's fine by me. Now, what is Harold's obsession? Desire for intimacy. All right, have at it. Oh well. Okay, there we go. Okay, now since Harold finished up the scaffolding, we'll go ahead and have him go for Hopfield and Beer next. Okay, and I guess our peace treaty with Dara was that London, I believe, is expired. Yes. Okay, so now they will, of course, hate us even more, which I'm starting to wonder if it's even possible for them to hate us anymore. Now York kind of hates us as well. Is it because we attacked their... Yes. Okay, so I guess it takes a little bit. But they do actually mind that we attacked their vassal's village. Any other ruler is a non-entity, failed to repay a debt to a neighbor. So it looks like it does make York hate us, but it doesn't make everybody hate us. Yeah, they don't even care that we attacked their neighbor. Alright, so York kind of hates us, Canterbury kind of hates us. But for the most part, it seems raiding villages is kind of a free pass, in a way. Which is very interesting. Alright, either way, we are now at this bandit camp, and we're gonna go and attack it right away. And there's 6 of them. It does look like they have 2 bowmen. And they have a couple of spears and some maces. Go ahead, and we're gonna stay in the back on this one. There we go. Get in there. Easy peasy, nobody went down at all. And 3 captured. Pretty good. Okay. We'll take it, and we're going to go straight for this one over here that I just saw pop up. And I don't think there is any more. No. But hey, now Norwich will actually kind of like us again. Which is good, because I think if we drop to -15, then they may actually cancel that trade route, which I would prefer not to happen, of course. So I was just looking at Lana, and this is quite sad. She has the Mrs. Parents negative mood. And Till is right here. Now, I don't know who her mother is, probably a peasant that maybe died or something, but Till, why aren't you spending time with your daughter at all? Now, let's see. Can we go to educate? I think I already tried this, and yeah, Till can't, because of poor relationship with our king. So, we'll set it back to Emma. And I guess we need to try to get Till and Canute to like each other, because that is horrible. Poor kid hasn't seen her parents in a long time. But either way, we're at this bandit camp now, so let's go ahead and get in there. There's only 2 of them. We'll just take them out right quick and get out of here. And they folded pretty quick. Captured one of them as well. Pretty good. We have 4 prisoners, and we will probably make them into warriors, I'm thinking. I totally forgot I did make those flavorful ales, but we were still selling them in the tavern, unfortunately, so they did get bought up. Now, I was doing that intentionally because I didn't want everybody to have fatal fatigue, but we're just going to have to deal with that for the moment. It looks like we do have those 6 prisoners home. Are any of them... Oh, we can only free 4 of them. That's a little strange. So we need to wait until we get this fresh start done until we actually bring them onto the army. That is, we have 10 in total now. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think some of them have injuries though, so I don't know if we'll actually be able to hire them all. But we need Canute. He's gonna go talk to Emma. That's fine. And then we will probably have him try to spend some time with Till, so it's probably going to take him a little while to get this fresh start taken care of. But once he does, we will be able to increase our army size quite quickly. Now we do have 7 tools finally, so I'm going to go ahead and queue up the weapon forge and coal furnace upgrades, and we will set the weapon forge one to build first, because we are moving really slowly through our order here. I don't know why. I thought it was moving a lot faster when we were doing axes. So I think it may just be a resource issue, maybe. So of course, we do need a good amount of coal in order to do it. So yeah, it's probably coal and wood that's kind of throttling us there slightly. We've run out of medical salve. How did that happen? We have plenty of herbs. I'm a little surprised. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I snoozed this ages ago. That's right. Alright, and set it to priority. So hopefully there will be enough of it tomorrow. Luckily, everybody seems to have healed their injuries, which is good. Let's go ahead and take a quick look. We have 2 Cadens that we can hire. We'll hire both of those. Kind of even back out our cultural composition here. We don't want to have too many macaws and Taneas, so I'm probably going to stop actually hiring more of those mercenaries for the time being. Looks like we don't have any fatal fatigue. We just have, we have a little bit on the warriors, but we don't have too much. So I think that's what we're going to call it. It looks like we are running out of money, unfortunately. But once we get the trader, I may just go, I'm thinking about maybe selling the prisoners. Thinking about maybe turning them into warriors. We'll just have to see. We may have to wait until later to start doing that. But we do have some spears that we can sell. We can't sell medical salves yet. Hopefully soon. But otherwise, that is going to be it. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.